best in the world there. So, you know, you will enjoy what happens. It doesn't really, in the grand scheme of a career, matter. It's a learning experience. But he learned something today. The two false starts and third time away is a learning experience, because you have to, you know, recommit yourself every time the women's 5,000 is underway. So, Lockie, they certainly didn't run faster at the Sydney Olympics. Constance Quinteros won it, and then subsequently was disgraced, and as he should have been. So they didn't run faster than that. Frankie Fredericks was at the Sydney Track Classic, I think, or at Melbourne Track Classic, one of the two. His fastest time in Australia, so extraordinary. Women's 5,000, Jess Hull. We've got one more, and then we finish with a relay, but this is the last individual final, Mitch, and we've got a great field here. We've got the national record holder, we've got Jess Hull's returning, Lyndon Hall is in action as well. So a cavalcade of stars in the women's 5,000 final.
Yeah, we certainly do, and I think people forget Jess Hull. I mean, she won that national title back in 2023 there in the 5,000 metres. She's obviously been all over the world. She came from Kingston, Jamaica to come and roll into these national championships. There was no break in between either. She was just straight over here. So, look, she ran a really smart 1,500, didn't she? It wasn't the familiar stylings of Jess Hull we're used to. She said, I wanted to just sit at the back because I did not want anybody getting a toe from me. She was sort of sick of being that athlete maybe that led people through. She ran so strong and thought, why not come out here and run a 5K? Can I do the double? Don't see why she can't. She's one of the fastest we've ever seen over the distance. I know her dad, Simo, will be very happy watching on. She's the second fastest we've ever had. She held that record for nearly 4 years at 14:43 before Rose Davies came away last year and took it from her. So she's got that meet record here in 2023, Jess Hull. This will be going for her fourth title if she can get it. 2020, she took it. 2022, 2023. So if she can get this, she'll actually eclipse Benita Willis as the most titles in the 5,000 metres.
We talked about Rose Davies and that event in Tokyo. That's where she set that national record. Izzy Bat-Doyle was there in that golden Seiko meeting in Tokyo. It's 5 months to the World Championships. Do you want to go and watch Gout, the World Championships? Do you want to watch Jess Hull? Do you want to watch the rest of our Australian stars? Boy, oh boy. 5 months today to the World Championships in Tokyo. And Jess is, I love the fact that Jess comes back to run in these races. She's done it a couple of times where she's done the double, the 1,500 and the 5,000, and we saw Cam Myers do it earlier. Loves to race and loves the national title, cherishes the fact that you can be the Australian champion. So, but it's a good field here, and they're at a reasonably solid pace, nothing super fast, but Izzy Bat-Doyle, of course, has been in tremendous form in marathon and half marathon, but she loves a track race as well. So she's leading them out, and she'll be happy to set a pretty solid clip here if she can.
Yeah, very talented athlete is Izzy Bat-Doyle. Obviously, really was in the mix to be on that marathon squad last year at the Olympics. Evidently ran on the track, so she really does have such great range, Izzy Bat-Doyle. Sitting really well behind her there, Morty Skyring as well. So made the most of her year last year, did Morty. She would love to be around that 15-minute marker, but to your point at the moment, Dave, it is gone out a little bit slower than what that pace would suggest. So they're a little bit off that. Lyndon Hall got under 15 indoors this year too. Georgia Griffiths, our national record holder over the 3K, just sits in that fifth spot. Then Rose Davies, our national record holder in the 5K. Then Jess Hull, our national record holder in the 1,500. And Lauren Ryan, who holds a national record, I believe, in the 10K roads. So there's a lot of national record holders out there in this women's 5,000 metres. And they're all going to throw themselves around here and just really see where they lay out. It's a very, very well-paced line of athletes at the moment. Nobody really having to run any wider than they need to. They've all got a spot on the rail. Just look at that. That is a absolute world-class field of Australians just rolling through here on a Sunday afternoon in Perth. And looking really smooth even in that third spot is Nat Rule. Now, she was on that Australian team in Eugene as well. So many, many, many Australian representatives will contest for this final.
I'll be liking the work that Izzy's doing out in front here. So you know that the pace is reasonable without being hectic when they're all strung out. And the big field, there's still athletes crossing the start-finish line as our leaders go down the back straight. So the pace is reasonably solid. And Izzy Bat-Doyle again just stretches away slightly as the sun is glistening on Jess's ponytail there. It's bobbing around. So they go down the back straight. She'll be happy in that position for here. I think like Cam in the men's 5,000, just It's a bit like the Melbourne Cup. You want to put your horse to sleep and go down the back and just save as much energy as you can for the sprint to the line. So she'll be happy here just to sit back in that group, along with a couple of the other chances. Still got 7 laps to go as they come down. I think it's 7, might still be 8. Hasn't clicked over yet.
So when they roll around to that 200-metre mark, that'll be 2K into the race. So you're right here. It'll have 7.5 remaining from there. But Izzy Bat-Doyle doing a really good job to set the tempo. They probably move their way back to around 15-minute pace here. We'll get a really good reading of it, though, when they get to that 200-metre marker. So a slight fracture. Amy Robinson at the back of this leading group. We'll call it Lauren Ryan. Behind Jess Hull. Behind Rose Davies, Georgia Griffith, Lyndon Hall, Nat Rule, Morty Skyring, and Izzy Bat-Doyle. So a lot of these women will have competed as juniors, now obviously as seniors on both the global level and here in Australia. And they'll understand each other quite well, although some alternative race tactics. We see Rose Davies and Jess Hull just happily sit in the middle of this field. 6:02, so yeah, they're around it. They'll be probably under that 15 minutes by the time they get the kicks involved later on in this field. But for the meantime, setting a really nice tempo out in front is Izzy Bat-Doyle, who also has that staying power to be able to continue on with this. She's certainly not just leading this field out. She's doing what she does best in being able to control the race, control her tempo, and she's in a very, very smooth rhythm here at the moment. So a lot of the threats line up behind her, but one of the favourites happy to lead things out as that distance now back to the rest of this pack just starts to grow, and they're all just well strung out here. Holly Campbell, the last one on it.
So 7 to go, and we haven't seen a change of position for the last 3 or 4 laps, and I think maybe for another couple we won't see much either. You'd be pretty, if you're Georgia or...
You've seen Argy Bargy. You usually see it to find a spot in the opening 400, not so much to find a position in the closing 800. So Izzy Bat-Doyle leads things out. The national record holder in Rose Davies sits in 3rd. Our 1,500-metre national record holder is in 4th. And our 3,000-metre national record holder is in 5th. Here's Morty Skyring. Oh, it's a game of surges here up the back straight at the moment. I want to stay on the rail. I don't want to be caught in this group. And just playing a little bit of cat and mouse at the back at the moment is Lyndon Hall, who's happy to watch them yo-yo in front of her. So Izzy Bat-Doyle continues to lead. Then it's Rose queuing up behind her. Then is Jess Hull, Georgia Griffith behind her, Morty Skyring on the rail, and Lyndon Hall. It's very hard to separate them at the moment, but the move will be made at some point.
There's 6 athletes and there's 3 metres. That's how tightly they are bunched as they come down 500 metres to go. Who's going to go first? Who's going to have the courage to spurt to the lead? Up on the inside, Morty Skyring has found a way through. Rose Davies takes over as they come down with 1 lap to go. Jess is there.
And now they're ramping it up here. So Morty Skyring, can she really do something special and take the legs out of the elite women behind her there? Rose Davies very quick to respond with 350. Jess Hull following. Georgia Griffith on the inside. Lyndon Hall reattaching, and Izzy Bat-Doyle, who was so strong through the opening stages, in fact, really until the bell now, just finds herself out the back of this group. But up the back straight, it's Rose Davies, the national record holder for this event, has some company with Jess Hull. Next one through there, Morty Skyring doing everything she can to try and hold on. Here comes Georgia Griffith. She was the national 3,000 metre champion this year. She's our record holder. Oh, the 3 record holders are away. Lyndon Hall will try and chase them down, but here it is. It's an all-out pursuit for the national title. Number 4 awaits Jess Hull. Number 2 for, here we go, Rose Davies. It's Georgia Griffith out wide, but Jessica Hull in front. Griffith starting to lift. Jessica Hull, Georgia Griffith. Hull makes it 4, the best we've seen at Nationals. 15:02 for Jess Hull. Bided her time to perfection. Georgia Griffith gets up for the silver. Rose Davies strong. Morty Skyring did everything to get on that podium, and Lyndon Hall too. That was a race for the ages at these national championships. Make it 4 for Jess Hull, the only woman in Australian history to have that many.
And she's broken her championship record. So the 15:05.87 from 2023 is consigned to the rubbish bin, and that is a winning double once again for Jessica Hull. An entertaining race. Drinks are on Izzy Bat-Doyle for setting the way for much of the race. And then it was on with 500 to go. The defending champion Rose Davies did everything she could. But the wheels of Hull and then Griffith, who looked like she was closing and was going to get there, but, well, it's hard to get past Jess Hull. She's got speed and she's got endurance, and that is an intoxicating combination when it comes to a 5,000 that's run at around 15-minute pace. So, fantastic way to finish the championships, the last individual event.
So Rose Davies gets the third, 15:03.83. Lyndon Hall, 15:04.18. And Morty Skyring, big shout out, was brave in her pursuit for a medal, 15:06. Izzy Bat-Doyle rolls through with 15:13 as well. Holly Campbell, 15:30. Lauren Ryan, 15:41. I'll tell you, these women, you can run this race 10 times and get 10 different outcomes. I mean, we are just at the tippy top of middle distance running in this country at the moment for our women. Jess Hull, the double champ. She just goes from strength to strength. That Olympic silver medal, that month that led into that Olympic silver medal as well, the 350, the 2K world record. It was just an incredible sight. And now she continues here in 2025. That momentum is building.
Yeah, and double title. I'm not sure that there's any way that Jess really, unless, you know, the pace is super, super fast, she feels comfortable. She's just hard to beat in that situation. So, you know, she did the right thing early. She just went to sleep and managed her energy expenditure the whole way after running the 1500s. And Georgia finished so quickly, but it just becomes a drag race, doesn't it? Who's the fastest? And we know that that's probably Jess in that situation. But Georgia's finished a great domestic season, and Rose gallantly defended her title, and look forward to what's to come. Probably better suited to a faster pace the whole way round.
Yeah, I would say so. She's got a good kick. We've seen it at a few of our national 10K championships, but it's just hard. You've got a 350 runner. Here we go. We're going to see the replay of the final 120 here. So you just think at this point, look, Rose looks oh so strong, but when you've got Jess Hull barreling down, she moves out to lane number 2. Georgia Griffith, it looked like for mine, maybe could get there. We've seen it in Europe. We've seen it in a few races before, but look, this is the same thing that happened in the 1500. Jess Hull continues to push away. What she's worked on for mine so well is that final 100 metres, and you need that in global 1500 metre running and 5K running. You have to be able to maintain.
And it came after that World Indoor Championships last year, where she wasn't able to keep up with them in that final 200 metres. I need to work on something. So Dad and Coach Simon, they went away and they came up with something, and it's been an extra element to what she's got in the bag, no doubt about that. Nana, double national championship for Jessica Hull, and that was a great way to finish the titles. Let's go down to you.
Jess Hull proving that 5K runners can sprint. Talk me through that last 100 metres.
Yeah, I think today I just had to trust my last gear. I think last night I went from a lot further out, and tonight I was just like, I'm going to practice from less far, and yeah, I felt great down that home straight, and I think I held my form pretty well, so Dad should be happy.
As a sprinter, I think you held your form pretty well. 15 gold, 5K gold. How are you feeling right now? I haven't seen you say a sip of water. You shaked every competitor's hand. What's going through your mind?
I mean, if you look at the depth that we've had this weekend, even the women, it took 4:20 to make the women's 1500 final. So it's a pretty special time to be an Australian distance runner, and you've got to respect every single person that was out there in the heat this afternoon. So yeah, it's awesome to welcome people home and celebrate their achievements, whether it was running under 17 or under 18 for the first time. It's special. So yeah, hope they all felt like they were part of it.
We've seen your passport being filled. Miami, Jamaica, Hunter Valley, New South Wales, all of the above. What's next for you?
I'm going to go home for about 10 days, so Newcastle with my family, and then I'll be in Miami for the Grand Slam the first week of May.
Congratulations on your 4th 5K national championship.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
The fan favourite is Jess Hull as well, so another double for her, 4th title in the 5K. And look at this, just the front on shot of Jess Hull. Just look at that arm drive, how strong it is. You said it so perfectly a moment ago, Dave. It was that World Indoors last year. You got the sense that that staying power was what we needed to see. Look, we saw it against Faith Kipyegon when she ran 350. It was remarkable to watch. And then Monaco said, how about a 2K world record? Do you think you can do that? She said, absolutely, anything for you guys. Went out there, broke that 2K world record. And then again, in that 1500 metres, you cast your mind back to August of last year in Paris. It was again a push to the line. She had Georgie Bell rolling on the outside of her. Obviously, Faith was just out there, but that final 100 metres was